wins another championship, but he gets to a few more finals. Like, do you believe this cemented it, that he's a top 3 player ever? MJ, Magic, LeBron. I mean, where do you have him now this morning?
Twitter post or some quick headline grab, this was a Hall of Famer, someone who has lived and breathed the game, speaking from decades of experience. Webber's voice had that edge, the one that comes from knowing exactly what he's talking about, the kind of edge that makes people stop and really listen. LeBron has spent the past few years declaring himself the greatest of all time, and now, for the first time, someone with real authority was publicly challenging him. This interview took place in early January 2025. It was supposed to be just another sports podcast. Chris Webber, relaxed as always, started talking about the current NBA playoff race, some young players making noise, and his thoughts on coaching. He laughed, shared stories, and gave measured answers like he always does. But when the host asked him about LeBron James's legacy, something changed. The room shifted. You could see the smile fade from Webber's face. His jaw tightened just slightly. There was a pause that lasted a few seconds, and in that moment, everyone knew something real was about to come out. Webber leaned forward and said it clearly, "Stop calling yourself the GOAT." Just like that. The host's eyes widened, the producers froze, everyone in the room felt the weight of those words. This wasn't just criticism, this was a public challenge to one of the most dominant players in basketball history. Webber didn't stop there. He went on to explain that greatness isn't something you declare, it's something that is recognized. He pointed out that the true legends, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all of them commanded respect without having to announce it. The timing of Webber's comments is also interesting. LeBron has spent decades battling media narratives, fighting criticism, and proving doubters wrong. He grew up idolizing the legends who built the game, and their respect matters to him. But over time, the culture of...
I've never heard one of the greatest say they were the greatest of all time. That was very interesting to me. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Oof, man, you know what? It's one thing. We all sit at this table all the time and sing his praises.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is a great player.
Yeah.
I just think that's disrespectful, honestly, to Bill Russell. What did Bill Russell do? Won every time. He said, all right, fellas, you want to win? Come with me, we'll go on the floor. That's what this game's all about. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
especially in the era of social media, have learned that if you don't control your narrative, someone else will. In today's world, silence can be forgotten. A game-winning performance might trend for 24 hours and then vanish into the endless news cycle. LeBron has adapted to this new era, understanding that managing your legacy requires constant reminders of your greatness. But Webber points out that there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. When it becomes about repeatedly telling the world you're the best instead of letting your performances prove it, that's when respect is lost. The internet erupted as soon as the interview dropped. Within 10 minutes, the clip was viral. LeBron and Chris Webber were trending worldwide. Social media became a battlefield. LeBron's fans came out swinging, defending him fiercely. Thousands of posts labeled Webber as a jealous former player who never won a championship. They criticized his career, recalling the infamous timeout, injuries, and playoff disappointments. But the older generation and basketball purists rallied behind Webber. For them, he was speaking a truth that had been obvious for years, but never voiced publicly. It wasn't about diminishing LeBron's accomplishments. It was about restoring the idea that humility and respect are core to the concept of greatness. Webber didn't just stop at calling out LeBron. He went further, discussing the differences in eras. Comparing players across generations is always tricky. LeBron plays in a different era with different rules, faster pace, and the luxury of choosing his teammates. Earlier legends faced hand-checking defenses, slower pace, and limited resources. Yet when players declare themselves the GOAT across all eras, Webber argues it diminishes the achievements of those who competed under tougher conditions. The point isn't to say LeBron isn't great, it's to highlight that true greatness should transcend self-promotion. It should be earned and universally recognized. As the debate intensified, podcasts, YouTube channels, and sports shows exploded with reactions. Analysts dissected every line Webber said. Stephen A. Smith's response video alone hit millions of views in the first day. Former players voiced their
I meant would be the. I know what I said, but you know what I meant.
No, I don't.
Come on, man. You players pick it up.
0-5.
Just these bombs y'all be showing every week. Who can't? LeBron, one of the greatest ever, can't give me 25 points. KD, one of the greatest ever, can't give me 25 points. Anthony Davis, 8 rebounds.
That's easy.
Devin Booker, 1 3. Are you kidding me?
Hey, LeBron, by the way, 3 threes away from passing Kyle Korver.
Ooh, Kyle
Conferences addressing Weber's comments. Some say this might be the smartest move he could make. Engaging directly with Weber could validate the criticism, turning it into a back and forth that he cannot win. Staying silent keeps the focus on his career, letting performances and accomplishments speak louder than words. Yet sources close to LeBron say he's aware of the comments and that they have affected him. Despite the image of confidence and ego, LeBron deeply cares about how NBA legends perceive him. Respect from his peers and the older generation still matters.
This moment highlights a fundamental question about modern basketball. How do we define legacy in the age of social media? Is it championships, individual statistics, clutch performances, or the perception of your peers and fans? LeBron's approach shows a new reality. Controlling your narrative is essential. But Weber's critique is a reminder that legacy is more than self-promotion. It's about integrity, humility, and letting your career naturally command respect. This isn't a generational clash. It's a conversation about values, priorities, and how we interpret greatness. Even beyond the NBA, Weber's words resonate. They speak to anyone striving for greatness in any field. Do you need constant validation, or does your work speak for itself? Are you trying to convince the world, or are you focused on performing at the highest level consistently? The tension between self-promotion and earned respect is something every professional faces. And in LeBron's case, it's magnified because the entire basketball world is watching. Every tweet, every post, every championship adds to the narrative. Chris Webber's interview forced the basketball world to pause and reflect. It's not just about calling LeBron out, it's about starting a conversation about what it means to be a legend. Are we celebrating accomplishments, or are we buying into constant reminders and marketing? Are we respecting history or rewriting it to fit a modern narrative? That conversation is still ongoing, and it isn't going away anytime soon. Whether LeBron continues to claim the GOAT title or whether he allows history and fans to speak for him, this moment has all...
If you want to say the GOAT status is solely based on rings, I don't have an argument, because 6 is more than 4. But that's the only time you use that argument, because Russell has more. There are several other Celtics that have more than 6, and you never include them in the GOAT discussion. But I believe LeBron James has played better longer than any other player in the history. And if you look at the teams that he's lost to, you tell me the team.
And more controversies in the future. But one thing is clear. He reminded the basketball world that greatness isn't just about winning. It's about legacy, humility, and letting your work define your story. LeBron may have his championships, records, and highlights, but the conversation around his self-proclaimed title of GOAT will continue long after he retires. And maybe that's exactly what makes this moment so powerful. This debate also shows how basketball culture is evolving. Fans, players, and analysts are more aware than ever of the influence of social media and branding. Legacy can no longer be taken for granted. You have to manage it, protect it, and perform at the highest level consistently. LeBron understands this, but Webber reminds everyone that no matter how advanced or fast-paced the world becomes, the fundamentals of respect, humility, and letting your game speak remain timeless. So now, the basketball world waits. Will LeBron adjust his approach, or will he continue to boldly proclaim his greatness? Will younger stars take note of Webber's advice, or will they follow LeBron's example? And most importantly, how will history remember this clash of legends? One thing is certain. Webber went on record saying what a lot of people have been thinking for years, and that has changed the conversation forever. The GOAT debate is no longer just about numbers or championships. It's about character, humility, respect, and the courage to let your work speak louder than your words. And in this moment, Webber forced the world to think differently, to pause, and to reflect on what true greatness really looks like. Whether you agree with him or not, his words have left an undeniable mark on the conversation about LeBron James and what it means to be the greatest of all time. Chris Webber's words didn't just challenge LeBron James, they sparked a massive debate about the culture of the NBA and how greatness is defined in the modern era. When people think of the GOAT debate, they often focus on stats, championships, and highlight plays. But Webber shifted the conversation. He reminded everyone that legacy is also about character, respect for those who came before you, and letting your game speak for itself. In many ways, this goes deeper than basketball. It's about values, humility, and understanding that respect is earned, not demanded. The timing of this interview was critical. LeBron James has spent over 20 years in the league, dominating teams, shattering records, and constantly reminding the world of his greatness. His proclamations about being the GOAT are not new, but they've become louder as he approaches the later stages of his career. He's a man who has mastered the game both on and off the court. He knows how to use social media, documentaries, and press appearances to control the narrative. But Webber's message is that no matter how skilled you are at promoting yourself, there's still a difference between fame and true, lasting respect. Webber also reminded fans and analysts that history doesn't always reward self-promotion. Players like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson never had to announce themselves as the greatest. Their greatness was obvious because of their performances. Michael Jordan led the Chicago Bulls to 6 championships and delivered clutch moments that defined a generation. Magic Johnson's vision and leadership changed the way basketball was played. Larry Bird's competitiveness and IQ dominated an era that is still studied by players today. These legends didn't need social media or constant declarations. They let the game crown them. Fans immediately took sides after Webber's comments went viral. LeBron supporters argued that the modern NBA is different. They said today's players have more control over their narrative, better training, and more resources, so claiming your greatness isn't arrogance, it's smart strategy. On the other hand, older fans and basketball purists agreed with Webber. They argued that humility is part of what makes a player legendary. It's what separates the great from the unforgettable. You can dominate your era, but without respect, your legacy is incomplete.
The debate even reached current NBA players. Some younger stars posted supportive messages for LeBron, praising his accomplishments while avoiding direct commentary on Webber's challenge. One All-Star tweeted, "Let's just appreciate greatness." But the replies were brutal. Thousands of fans urged players to pick a side. Social media became a battlefield for opinions. Clips of LeBron's statements about being the GOAT were shared, compiled, and discussed endlessly. Every championship run, every scoring milestone, every documentary snippet was scrutinized. The internet reminded LeBron of how his own words are now shaping public perception. Webber's critique also highlighted the differences between eras. LeBron plays in an era with advanced training, better medical support, and more control over his career choices. Earlier legends faced physical and mental challenges that were arguably tougher. Hand-checking was legal, rules favored defense more heavily, and players didn't have the same recovery technologies or off-season programs. By claiming he is the GOAT without acknowledging these differences, Webber argues, LeBron risks disrespecting the generations of players who competed under far harsher conditions. The reactions weren't just online. Sports networks dedicated hours to discussing Webber's statements. Analysts debated whether LeBron's approach to legacy was revolutionary or disrespectful. Stephen A. Smith's commentary alone reached millions of viewers. He pointed out that while LeBron is unquestionably talented, his constant reminders about being the GOAT changed the way fans perceive him. Some saw it as necessary self-promotion in today's media-driven world. Others saw it as an erosion of the old code, where legends let their performance speak instead of repeating it publicly. Looking back at Chris Webber's career gives even more weight to his words. Webber was part of the Fab Five at Michigan, revolutionizing the power forward position. He was a 5-time NBA All-Star and a player capable of changing games on multiple levels. But his career wasn't without struggles. He faced injuries, playoff disappointments, and the infamous timeout incident that haunted him for years. This background gives him perspective on what it truly means to earn respect and build a legacy. He knows firsthand that talent alone isn't enough. How you carry yourself matters just as much. Webber also drew a clear line between confidence and arrogance. Confidence, he said, is performing at the highest level when it matters most. It's about showing up, delivering, and leading your team. Arrogance, on the other hand, is constantly needing validation, using words to force recognition. LeBron's repeated claims about being the GOAT, Webber argues, are a form of the latter. They are not necessary because LeBron's accomplishments already speak for themselves. The problem is that when you demand respect instead of earning it, you risk alienating the very fans and legends who should admire you the most. The conversation around LeBron's self-proclaimed GOAT status also touched on the idea of controlling one's narrative. LeBron grew up watching the media scrutinize every athlete. He saw Allen Iverson criticized endlessly, Kobe Bryant questioned in his early years, and many others misrepresented.
LeBron learned that if you don't control the story yourself, others will write it. His "I'm the GOAT" messaging is a calculated move to protect his legacy. But Weber's point is that while this strategy may work for public perception, it doesn't replace the timeless respect that comes from humility and letting your work speak for itself. As this debate unfolded, social media became a mix of outrage, memes, and deep discussions. Fans created compilations of LeBron's proclamations, comparing them to historic moments from legends like Jordan and Bird. Memes circulated portraying LeBron as constantly reminding the world of his greatness. At the same time, older fans shared highlights of Weber's career and examples of humility from past legends. Podcasts and sports shows dissected every word, examining the nuances of what it means to be truly great. The conversation became about much more than basketball. It was about culture, values, and how society interprets greatness. Even Michael Jordan's approach was brought into the discussion. Jordan rarely proclaimed himself as the best. He let his performance and 6 championships define him. Kobe Bryant chased Jordan's shadow, but still approached it with humility, focusing on work ethic and excellence instead of self-promotion. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all operated under the same principle. Weber used these examples to argue that there's a standard, a tradition that has been established for decades, and LeBron's approach challenges that tradition. Despite all the debates, LeBron has remained silent publicly. There are no statements, no posts, no press conferences addressing Weber's challenge. This silence has been interpreted in multiple ways. Some argue that LeBron is letting his career speak for itself, understanding that responding would validate the criticism. Others suggest he is quietly absorbing the feedback, aware that legends like Weber represent the history and integrity of the game. Regardless, the lack of response adds a new dimension to the debate, making every performance, every post, every championship run even more scrutinized. Weber's comments also forced younger players and fans to reflect on what true greatness means. It's not just about scoring points or winning titles. It's about integrity, humility, and respect for history. In today's era, where social media dominates, it's easy for players to craft a narrative. But Weber reminds us that narrative alone isn't enough. Legacy is more than marketing. It's the sum of your actions, your character, and the respect you earn from peers and predecessors. And that brings us back to the heart of the debate. Chris Webber isn't trying to diminish LeBron's accomplishments. He acknowledges that LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time, but he wants to remind everyone that the way greatness is carried matters just as much as the greatness itself. Humility, respect for predecessors, and allowing history to judge you, these are timeless principles. In the age of social media, these principles are at risk of being forgotten, and Weber's comments are a wake-up call.